So this is an original Xbox. It was released in Microsoft, or by Microsoft, rather, in 2002, I think. Today I'm going to do a teardown to show you guys how to take it apart. The main reason you might want to tear yours down is because there is a capacitor inside this thing that is notorious for blowing up and ruining consoles. And I don't think anyone wants that happening, so I am going to quickly look for my screw tray. It is clearly not in there. Not down here, is it? It is down here. And when I was sold this, I was told it was missing the screws for the fans on top of the heat sink. So I have some replacements ready to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by turning your Xbox face down. I'm going to do this actually real quick, just to show you where the screws are. You need to peel up the rubber feet to expose 4 of the screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I've already removed on one, because this one's been open before. And then there's one under this sticker here, and this sticker here. Now for the screws on the casing, they're pretty specific. They are very, proprietary. So you will have to go out of your way to buy a Torx T20 bit, which looks similar to this. I don't know if it's so easier to see in this lighting, but hey. Sometimes they'll be a little stiff, sometimes the screws will make squeaky noises. For me, this one just seems a little stiff. Yeah, they're very long screws. I missed. Yeah, try not to accidentally do that because you might round off a screw. And Torx screws are already hard to deal with. You don't want to round those off. Because if you round one of those off, you're going to have some issues. Let's put it that way. That one was easier. Let's do this one here. Yeah, don't do that either. Now, one thing I do want to recommend before opening one of these is because if you've just had if you've just had it plugged in, let it decharge the capacitors and leave it unplugged for a little bit before you take it apart. Don't take it apart right after unplugging it. If you do, just don't touch the power supply, because otherwise you will get shocked by the charge capacitors, because there's still a little bit of power left in them once the system is off. Because that's how the Xbox keeps the time, because there's a chip called the MCPX that keeps the time, along with the clock capacitor. So it does need to stay charged. The clock capacitor is actually the capacitor that's causing the issues. Anyways, once you get the lid off with a little bit of encouragement, it's a little bit fiddly, but you'll get it. Let's put those aside for a moment. That's also not the correct ones. Aha. So from here, you're going to need a T10. Now there are 3 screws. They're hard to see, but there is one down here and one down here holding down the DVD drive, and there's one under this ribbon cable holding in the hard drive. So let's do that. Let's get close so I can see what the thing is. So you might end up seeing my fire head. I would recommend using a magnetic screwdriver for these so you don't lose them. Which I have thought to do because I'm not dumb. Not calling you guys dumb if you don't use one. It's just... Actually, yeah, it is kind of a dumb move to not use one. There we go. And then if you do this guy, there is a third one down here. Now you're going to want to unplug the IDE cable from the hard drive, as well as the power cable, which can get stuck. If it gets stuck, use like pliers to pull it out, just don't pull too hard. Then you're going to want to unroot this cable, which for some reason isn't in here, but it will be in there, so you have to like pull it out. Just be careful because you don't want to break the wires. And from there, the hard drive just lifts out. Now, one thing about these Xboxes is if you need to replace the hard drive, good luck. Because the hard drives are paired to every individual motherboard. The CD drives aren't. At least on the original Xbox. The Xbox 360 onwards, I think they paired them to each individual motherboard. Anyways, the DVD drive, you're going to want to do the same. You're going to want to unplug the IDE and the power. And then you can lift that out as well. And here we go. Now my Xbox has a mod, a soft mod. I do not know where the mod chip is, if there is one. Yeah, here's what I mean by mine was missing the screws on the fan. If it has been mod chipped, I can't see a mod chip unless it's this thing, but I think that's for the front panel. So we're going to remove the IDE. Out you come. And you're going to remove this guy. That's the power cable for the DVD player. Then we're going to unplug this guy, which is the power supply. There you go. And we're going to unplug this for the CPU fan. Actually, that might be the GPU. I can't remember which one's which. One of them is the CPU, one was the GPU. I would imagine this is the CPU, and that's the GPU. Yeah, this is the GPU, this is the CPU. You can tell because the small heatsink. Now, not every Xbox has the fan, actually, on top of here. Because in later model Xboxes, they swapped the fan out on here for a slightly larger heatsink that made things slightly easier, so they didn't have to have the fan. Which made the newer versions a lot quieter. Right, I can't get this out because I need to get the motherboard out, I believe. So there are some T10 screws on the motherboard. So let's start taking those out. I also want to give my Xbox a clean, because it doesn't seem to be any dust, like very dusty at all. But I don't want to take any chances. Because the person who sold this to me said they didn't clean it. I missed. There is probably a couple more screws. Do I see any more? Yeah, there's one here. Are there any more? Yep, there's one back here behind the heatsink. For those of you who don't know, that was a James Channel reference. Go watch that guy, he's amazing. He turned one of these into a portable. It was really cool. That's actually the video I got that reference from. Right, now we're going to unplug this and this, and that comes out of the motherboard. It's literally slotted in, and then we can unplug that. And then we have this little board out. Don't lose it, because otherwise you will not be able to power the Xbox on, you will not be able to eject this train, you will not be able to, what's it called? Thingy. Yeah, just thingy. What I was trying to say is you won't be able to use your controllers. And then there's two more screws we need to remove on the power supply. There's one back here, and then there's one hidden under all of the cables. So I need to move these little cables here, and I can see it. It's down here. There you go, got him. And now we can remove the power supply. And here's the main board. Okay, where was I? Oh, right. I know what I was doing. Trying to get the fan out. Now this guy hates being removed because it's clipped into the metal shielding. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out. But the front panel, probably could if I wanted to, I just can't be bothered. But yeah, that is basically an empty Xbox. And now for the reassembly. So you can start with your motherboard. Now, there's also different models of this motherboard. It'll say somewhere on the bottom. If I can find it on mine, I'll tell you what mine is. Mine is the 009 model, I think. Anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to first off grab the main board. We're going to lift up these cables so it'll go in nicely without killing anything, because we don't want to kill anything, because we want this to work, obviously. And then you want to obviously get the board to sit flush in the case. So it'll take a bit of trial and error trying to get everything to fit the original way sometimes. It's very easy to like get something misaligned. Oh, well there we go. So the board's now back in. Let's move that out the way. Now, most of the wires we couldn't see for the power supply screw is because the wires from the power supply were blocking it. There are two cables on the power supply, one that connects it to the board and one that powers the hard drive. DVD power cable already goes over here. But it's not on that one, that's for the fan. This is the DVD drive cable, which I'm going to plug in next. There we go. So that'll plug into the DVD drive in a minute. Let's get this front board back in. I know this yellow cable goes in here. And from there, the board goes in. Oh, I see what's got to go. Right, we pull that yellow cable out. We're going to put that back in. And then the yellow cable goes over it. Yeah, that's right. And then this guy goes into here with a little bit of trial and error. So actually what I would suggest doing is plugging this into the board first. Oh, my camera keeps falling over. I did get the thing back in though. So there we go. If we were to plug this in, it still wouldn't work though because this isn't plugged in. And neither is this. Yeah, it throws an error if the hard drive isn't present. Same with DVD drive. This console is very adamant about making sure all of its components are present. Before it attempts to boot. There you go. That's the power supply plugged in. And do not, just be careful. Anyways, the clock capacitor is either always up here or up here. So as you are wondering, it will say Super Aero Gel on the side. I'm just looking to see if mine still has it, because it might have taken it out and not replaced it. No, because there's no empty spots. So where's the clock capacitor? They replaced it with like a tiring crystal or a surface mount thing? Who knows? Anyways, let's plug the fan back in. If it overheated because I didn't plug that in, that would be extremely embarrassing. This for the DVD drive, so you don't need to plug that in right now. Here's the fan that I need to make sure I put the screws back in, because the seller before didn't. I had to buy replacement screws. Okay, come on. Also, I think that brown one there might be the clock capacitor, I'm not sure. I just dropped it again. Oh, there we go. There we go, I got it in. Now I need to place this to here. And I'll put the things back in a second. We will plug this guy back into where he should be. So just tap that upside down for a second. I've knocked my camera again. The Xbox caught it, funnily enough. Okay, there we go. And now we need to plug back in. I just slapped the camera with the ID cable. That was not very good. There we go, the AD cable's back in now. And now we've got a few things to put back in. The hard drive, DVD drive, and all the screws. Let's start with the power supply, shall we? Are you not aligned? Or is the screw not aligned? I tell you what I'm going to do, so don't keep knocking this camera over. I'm going to stand up. Yeah, the power supply's not aligned. Otherwise that wouldn't happen 7 times in a row. Let's try screwing it in down here first. Didn't even go in. Okay. Now we'll try. There we go. Yeah, I was right, it was not aligned. The fan screws are actually Phillips, so give me 1 second. I'm going to say a Phillips 1.5. That did not work. Here's the other 3. Okay, apparently this is too small. Let's try this guy then. Yeah, that's better. 1.5, not 1.2. There we go, no more need for the crosshead bit, or Phillips as you want to call it. Now we'll start putting screws in. And then we have one screw here. One here by the Hinks heatsink. Don't call them Hinks, they're heat sinks. I just call them Hinks for the hell of it. And then the last screw goes here. Finally, we get to put in the CD drive, which means we need to plug in a power, no idea. You'd hope if I didn't drop the Xbox drive. What is stuck under here? Just not the camera again. Do you know what? Do you sit here? You do. That'll be easier. To keep on to this stupid stool that my tripod was on. Because otherwise it would have been too long. Right, now here's the hard drive power. There is the IDE cable. Alright. Now we need to put in the 3 screws. There was one in the middle holding down the hard drive, and that is way too small. Go. Okay, so now the hard drive just isn't aligned. Not very much. Okay, what is wrong with this? The CD drive's fine, but the hard drive isn't. What if I try screwing that in now? There we go. And then there's one last screw, which goes down here. And then this fella tucks there. Now, let's see if the lid goes on. Yeah, something's up with the placements because... So I'm going to need to take these out again. How fun. I wonder if it's because of the IDE cable. Yeah. It may be. Right, the DVD drive is now in. Get the hard drive to do the same. I think that did it. If I hold it down while I screw it in. Now will it close? No. This happens every time. Which one of you is the culprit? It's the hard drive. Something's up with the hard drive. But there's nothing wrong. Everything's in the right place. Is it this cable? No way it's being funny about this cable. And that's something down in this front corner. Oh. Let's try it again. There we go, I didn't even have to tap it. Now I need to swap bits again. I just put the wrong bit in, haven't I? Yeah. There you go. We're done.